Good morning, everybody. Morning. Noisy doggos. What's up? Yeah, been sent some stems. Been sent some stems to a tune. And mine is almost done. It's the challenge where we were remixing What Is Love. I think mine is done. And I offered to mix someone else's remix. So it should be fun. That's the question. What even is love? I'm going to give this a quick playthrough. Okay, this is missing some side chaining. Cool, man. See you later. So this is missing some side chain. It should sound like this. May as well do that so long. Pumper on my bass bus. Morning, Rom. Oh, we've got the wrong tempo. So this isn't exactly how it sounded in his bounce, obviously, because firstly, there's no side chaining. He couldn't figure out a way to bounce the bass with the side chain without the kick, which is why I have this reference here. So it doesn't seem to include the sub. Not sure if that should be or shouldn't be side chained, but we'll see. And then, yeah, I mean, there might have been bussing and stuff that I don't have, so some of the levels might seem a little out of whack, a little more so than they need to be. Doing well, thanks. Doing well this morning. Was up a little bit later than I should have been, but feeling all right this morning. I tried to climb back into bed, but it didn't work. Eventually, I just had to get up. So here's our kick. Let's just give it a standouty color. Kawaii Chamoyada. Well,
Pug, you knob, you buttonhead.
Cheers for the follow, J Howie. J Howl 14. Welcome, man. I swear those notification sounds, I've turned them down so many times and they're still loud. Sorry. You fell asleep at 9. But instead woke up 1:30 in the morning. Oh, damn. That sucks, man.
You pug, you knob, you buttonhead.
Cheers for the follow. Hey, hey. Welcome, man. Thanks for the follow. Yes, so firstly, let's find the tempo of this thing. Hells yeah. Oh, did Nightbot ban you? Sorry about that. Might be yeah, it's a bit overzealous, that thing. I need to check the settings. I thought I'd turned off most of the nannying, but apparently not. Yeah, will do. That's a pain. I don't know what it considers to be spam. Okay, so let's just firstly grab all the audio tracks and set them to time based, so when I change the tempo they don't stretch. Track time base time. So now if I type a new tempo in, which is in this particular theme, currently behind the chat. Yeah, sorry about that. Tempo is in the far bottom corner. I'm gonna tap the tempo. Okay, let's see. It's not 108. It's faster, so let's try 109. Could be 110. Hell yeah. So yeah, this is a track. Oh, you're live, are you? Sweet. So did you raid me? Because I didn't get a raid notification, but this track is by SideWize. I think his username on Twitch is Jax Solik. And he has done this remix of What Is Love, and I thought I would Oh, I thought you said your stream, so I was just curious if you were live. What do they call it? Stream sniping. It's a term I learned recently. Yeah, so I don't know if I've got all his busing and stuff, so the levels might be a little out of whack. But oh, hosted, gotcha. Well, cheers for that, man. So now we can use this pumper sidechain plugin on my bass bus. Except it doesn't sound very good. Stream caption. Better. Sniping sounds like such a negative way to phrase it. Let's change this curve. You know what? Screw this. I have a new plugin that I haven't really used yet. I need to put it in my template, otherwise I won't use it. It's called the Dodge Pro. Ooh, I've got other new things. What did I install yesterday? Oh yeah. Installed these things for a video I made about Reaper and referencing. Never ended up using the VU meter. MV meter is also free. So I'm looking for Dodge. What's cool about this plugin is you've got a sidechain and you've got various shapes, but you've also got, you can do it individually on the lows, mids, or highs. And then there's some like cool presets for like gating and stuff. Let's go further in. So seems to be a low end one. So it's doing this to the highs, doing this to the mids, doing this to the lows. So yeah, interesting sidechainy plugin. But for now, I'm just going to use like the main thing. You can also draw stuff in. So I could grab this. Got our speed here. It's getting cut off. And my graphics card needs an upgrade. Let's see if it floats properly. Nope. I've had weirder and weirder things are happening lately. I've twice had, okay, you know what? I can scale the interface. Could be something to do with that. Scale 75. Scale 100. Thank you. So in these bottom slots, you can actually trigger different things with your keyboard, different ducking presets. So that's pretty cool. And I got this for $10 on Plugin Boutique, along with like a transient shaper, 2 different compressors, a sausage fattener ripoff called something worm. So yeah, pretty good deal. Yeah, man. Cheers for the host. See, it's gone back to the weird thing. So it's maybe not reporting its size properly when it's scaled. I don't know. Because when I first opened it, it was at 75%, which is fine, to be honest. Okay, so let's get out of the weeds, so to speak, and Turn my click off. Let's have a listen to, I've got two buses basically. So I've got a drum bus in my template where I've dragged his drum stems. I've got a bass bus, and bass bus is inside this folder called rest, which is all my instruments. Some people like to group their bass and drums together, which does make sense. I also just like to be able to do this solo everything that isn't drums and see how it's sitting, like without like clashing with drums basically. Sometimes I'll hear weird resonances and stuff in my sort of mids that I don't hear in the context of the whole mix. Sometimes I also move the vocals into their own bus, which is tempting in this case. So also this template of mine looks, I mean this theme of mine looks very nice in the night, but in the day I feel like it's a little too dark. I've got all sorts of outside light. Now that I can see a little better. So I'm going to just give these a random color. I've got a hotkey that just cycles through random colors. That's nice. Nice and warm. So I see Vox, Vox. Are those the only Vox? What is this effect? Transition. Right, cool. Let's give it a different color. Let's give the leads even a different color. Synths. This theme is rather striking. Yeah, so I find Reaper cool for mixing. One of the things you can do is on your master, there's a mono button. You've also got a monitoring chain, which goes after your master and doesn't get rendered. So if I like want to drop the volume 10 dB for streaming, for example, if I'm streaming a master track versus a mixed track, they're going to be different volumes. So I'll just drop the whole stream, the whole DAW down 10 dB. Another thing I can do is I can listen to just the mono, just the side info. Is that right? What else can I say? This is supposed to be mono. Basically, when you flip the phase of one channel and then mono it, you'll only hear the stuff that's on the sides, I think. So effectively, this is the info that you might get, that might get lost on a mono speaker. And that's pretty sweet. So yeah, I've got this plugin that's just reversing the phase. It's a Reaper plugin, inverting the phase of the left channel, and then this one is monoing it. So then we're just hearing the stuff that's not getting cancelled, I think, or yeah. Anyway, it's a useful thing just to hear stuff that's getting cancelled. Yeah, it is a nice little plugin. I use it a lot. Use it in mastering and stuff. But I mean, if you high pass your sideband, it does the same thing as the safe bass thing, because this is just monoing everything below 100 and something hertz. You can adjust this. Whereas if you, that's basically, so if there's low end in sounds that you don't need low end on, it's just monoing all that mud. Whereas if you high pass the sideband on an EQ like Pro Q, then you're actually just getting rid of all the unnecessary side info. So it depends. It's sort of a spade and a, what's that other thing called? Shovel. I don't know. It's different tools. Not exactly the same thing. I'm going to just, whoops, I'm going to stick these guys in a folder. Any track in Reaper can be a folder. I just have, my groups are all red. I'll call this box. I just want to hear what this is. Is this the female vocal? No, it is not. It's Drunk Volant. Cool, man. Catch you later. Thanks for the host, man. Yeah, the chat's moving a little fast for me today, but it's all good. Just making sure I haven't missed anything. Cool. Yeah, man. Cheers. Turn on virus detection. Sod off. So now I can solo my mid-band. What I'm looking for is that female vocal. There it is. Okay. So let's put her on her own track. I'm just going to, oops, I added a warp marker, like a stretch marker, warp marker in Ableton by accident. Let's just put this on its own track. Bam. Duplicate track. So yeah, there are some other vocals on this. That seems to be it. I'm going to also zoom in the waveform, make sure there's nothing I'm missing. I can actually delete that, for example. I could trim this up. Just kind of helpful sometimes visually to see where stuff starts and ends. But I'm not too anal about that. Apologies. I did not know what that name meant, so yeah. But all good. It's the unfortunate thing on Twitch is that a lot of the viewers are dudes. I mean, of music production streams, it seems. Although it seems to depend on the community, which is cool. I see. I did not know that. That is a good thing to know. Okay, let's sort out this vocal first. So I think this guy should be on its own track. Yeah, just this vocody section. And it's funny though, I actually have a lot of friends who call ladies dudes for some, I mean dude as just like guys. It's sort of, I guess that's yeah, a weird turn of phrase actually. Get the feeling since they're so intertwined, I'm just going to have to treat them as one anyway. So I'm going to cut that, move these back up. And just EQ them as a group. Now this lady, like to turn her way down. This theme in general isn't working for me in the day, which is a bit of a shame. I am just not Not winning. I know this theme is pretty boring, but hey, it works. I can see my mute and solo more clearly. I know where my volume is. The other thing is the timing. Stick my metronome on. So this first one. Okay, so this whole bit here can shift forward a touch. Oh, this looks way louder. That's fair, it's in the chorus. All looks early. Sounds out of key to me. Try 2 semitones up. Nope. Let's try 1. Strange. It's sort of more that it doesn't follow the chord progression. I feel like if I nudged it like half a bar, let's just go quarter notes. Like this felt like the sort of peak of what she sings was like on the chord change. I feel like that was a little better personally. Then this one maybe is out of tune. I'm gonna try down 2 semitones. That does sound more in key to me. Except it sounds pitched and odd. I mean, we could try this. Try and uniformly pitch it down. Mixing, he said. I know what I can do. I can change the format of this by using repitch. like that, but I don't know if he'll like it, but I'll see what he thinks. I think that worked. By the way, what I did there is put a plugin on this region. So you see this little icon here, effects. So you can actually apply an EQ or like process individual items in Reaper. And then you can apply them by like gluing, apply track and take effects to item as new take, or I could just go glue and then it'll apply what's on the item but not what's on the track. I find it super useful. It's kind of like Audio Suite and Pro Tools if anyone's used Pro Tools, except it's also non-destructive if I decide to leave that plugin on there, which you can't do in Pro Tools. This can come down like 3 dB. Just trying to get the vocals all to a similar level. Didn't bug me so much that time. I think that works. Yeah, I think it's just wasn't quite following his chord progression. So let's have a listen to all of the synths. That's the vocals. I'm actually going to take the vocals out of the instrument group and just solo the instruments now. So here's his lead. I actually think his instruments sound very nice. They're not EQ'd poorly or anything. They sound pretty good together. Okay, let's look at the drums. So if we lost some transients, I use this pre-open thing, which I think just uses look ahead. Basically adding 3 milliseconds of latency, I guess, to the whole project, but okay, to be fair, they weren't very transient to begin with. We could work on the transients. We could try that new transient shaper I got. Can I search the company name. Who are they again? Dodge is made by WA Production. Okay. Imprint. I think that's the sidechain. I mean this thing is like a multi-band transient shaper. Whoa, apologies. I think maybe those are separate from what this is. Yeah, you can hear the mids getting more bitey there. That's pretty cool. Multi-band transient shaper. I'm going to use this EQ now. Before, after. So if I had individual things, I would probably have just turned down the reverb send. That was just my ghetto solution. It's a nice fundamental, but I feel like it might clash with the kick a bit. Let's just turn this off. Maybe not. So what I can do instead is just put it down a little. Also very dull sounding. Hell yeah, dude. We were also discussing, yeah, like I offered to mix this one, but I'm happy to help with another one as well. Or if Seebeck has time, he could also. It'd be cool to get them all to sort of, let's release this stuff, you know? Put it up on Bandcamp. Before, after. Subtle, but it's like sometimes the EQs look less subtle than they sound. I'm also noticing some clipping going on. I'll have to address. This is a nice kick. Guess that's sort of where the snare lives. But more than that, I'm partial to less boxy kicks. Okay, the hats can come down. I'm actually going to, just turn this track down. What I should really do is pull down the gated signal, or this guy if it has an output gain. Okay, I know it's supposed to be Synthwave, and I do tend to have sort of modern sensibilities with my mixing. So I have to check my biases. Something soloed. Bass bus is muted. Oh, and there's no instruments here. Okay. I like sending this to reverb just to bring out some of that tail. Okay, this bass. Okay, here's our sub. Gonna take those tracks out of my template. Well, I'm gonna mute the mid basses. Nice, there's already a bit of side chaining happening on that, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, where is that sound? I quite like how it sounds all gated. Did we boost the treble at all? We did. So this is not going to work with the cymbals like that, but it's fine. Oh, the snare is coming through here now, and it didn't before. It's interesting. What I might also do is put a re-X comp, which is Reaper's multi-band, on here, and I will just compress the high, so when there's sweeps and things, let's find one. Don't know if that was the one I had issue with. I'm going to turn off auto makeup game, and I seem to have done that in my template now. It's cool. So now we're compressing just this. Sounds like it's also other bands. Considering we already have the snare. Not shy to squeeze that as well. Let's turn down the decay. Considering muting the snare or turning it down when the echoes happen, because it's coming through 2 tracks. Let's go 16th notes, slice that there. Mute the section, see how that sounds. Maybe we'll turn this softer. Oh, it's softer in the beginning, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So I've set this to minus 6.7. Do the same for this similar section. Cool, cool. And then feel like these two could go a little softer. Now I've boosted this intro bit. You shift drag at the top, you can actually increase the gain beyond what's visible on the track. I feel like we're making some progress. Let's bring the vocals back in.
What is love?
This is another way to adjust volumes. It's volume pre-effects, so it literally affects the waveform.
What is love? What is love? What is
So I might ask him to export this section separately. Unless I can just use this part. There's crashes in there too. Okay, what I'll do, I'll mark where this crash happens. It seems to only happen once. Add crash. So we're going to mute this part. Good morning. How you doing, man? Yeah, I've been really busy with this course that I'm taking and a few other things, some paid work that came in that I couldn't do on stream. But I am well, man. How are you doing? Okay, the crash, does it happen here? Ooh, it happens on the and this time. Add bad crash. Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. It was my birthday on Friday. And forced me to sort of take a little break and see family and just stop working for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Like, look above the water that's busy drowning me, basically. I was feeling a bit overwhelmed last week between the course and... yeah, just felt like a wrong time to have to be turning older. Okay. So that part's going to get muted. I've added the markers where the crashes went. What I'm going to do is just replace that section with this loop. I'm going to... sure, I'll move that to its own track. And bammo. Sweet, that'll do. It was indeed my 30th. Thanks, man. Alex the boss, man. So the debating whether it should actually stay softer for this intro section. Maybe we just bring it up a little bit. Not all the way, like halfway.
What is love?
Feels very mono. I'm going to send it to my ping pong delay, which is in that bus. Okay. Duly noted. Stereo width going on. I guess I can move these sends outside of this bus so we can use them for anything. Okay, so now we've gotten rid of the snares that were in the hi-hat track. I can unmute the original snares. And bring them up. I feel like the vocals are a bit loud overall. But yeah, man, that sounds great. I don't know, I think I more realized that I don't want to, that I need to dream. I need to dream bigger. And I need to aim higher. And basically, yeah, basically need also other sort of backup plans in my pocket for times like these where suddenly people are losing their jobs. It's good to have other sources of income. And I'm grateful that I have had some paid audio work, but I'm also, yeah, still, it's not the same as if I was DJing. And I am looking to go beyond being in that situation, having to rely on DJing, because it can be very fun and very rewarding, but it can also be quite exhausting, and it can be a chore. Especially when you're just playing wedding after wedding of music you're not really interested in hearing. So, I mean, it's not really about that for me, though. It's like, it's still a musical job, so I'd rather have a musical job than any other job. But at this point, maybe turning 30, I would rather actually be earning decent money than have a lovely job that isn't paying me enough. And it's not so much that DJing wasn't paying me enough, it's just that I wasn't busy enough for it to be sustainable, especially just not having enough saved in the time of like a pandemic. You know, this was just a warning shot for me. It's like things could have been much worse for me. So rather I realize that now than when it's too late, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so the English teaching is one, and I also applied to do captioning, like video captioning. Transcription is another one I want to apply for. So yeah, little things like that. I'm signing one of my tracks to a label again, a local label, but in future I want to also just build myself a self-release strategy. Basically, I feel like with enough sort of research and planning, like I see a lot of people just release something, they sort of suddenly put it out and then they're sharing it everywhere and it doesn't gain the traction that they want. I feel like a pre-release strategy is important. I feel like to some extent sort of hyping it up before it comes out, it's not always the most fun thing, but maybe you can get a friend to help. And yeah, the thing is, the last tune I signed with them earned, like, I think I'm earning not almost £1. Luckily, someone downloaded the track, so most of the money comes from that one download, then split in half by the label, which, like, I don't begrudge a label taking 50%. I just feel like if I was pushing my own music to my own fans, I would get more than one download on Bandcamp or whatever, and that would be all the revenue coming to me. So I feel like if the benchmark is one download, I can do better on my own, basically. So I'm curious to see how it goes the second time round. It's not like I didn't push the release last time. I think it's just a different dynamic when it's your own thing. If I'm saying, oh, it's my EP, like, I'll get a few more like actual close friends and family to pay attention than just having a release on a compilation that's one song out of a bunch, if you know what I mean. So yeah, the plan is to release some of my stuff on Bandcamp, and then I've also got those Need for Speed remixes. I had some other ideas for old like breakbeat tracks that I'd like to just sort of gently re-edit, and I feel like if I build up a collection of that sort of late 90s stuff that's been revamped, not just Need for Speed stuff, obviously, but like older electronic music and stuff. It's a nice way to just get people to sort of hear one of your things, see what else you have. I mean, I've done that. I'm sure I'm not alone. I found some cool remix. I'm like, what else has this person done? You know, and then if I like their original music, I end up getting their original music as well. So it's useful just to have that sort of stuff out there. But I also don't want to stick it out there and then not have any music other than that on the internet. So that's the plan, is just to kind of do both at once. But I've never really seen music production as an income. It's more the mastering and mixing stuff, and sometimes commissions. I'm doing an electro swing couple of tracks for a band. We've been using bandlab.com, by the way. It's like a kind of like a social music site where you can find people to collaborate with. It gives you a preview like SoundCloud, and then like your notes from the project show up on that page, and then you can actually open like a DAW inside your browser. So I've been like putting stems in there, and then they can mute my bass, and the bassist can play his own bass, you know, or the guitarist can play his own guitar instead of the samples that I've used. And then also like when they put stuff in there, I don't have to worry about, oh, where does it start? Is it at the beginning of the project? Is it midway through? I can just see it there, and I can export the elements I need. So it's pretty cool as a sort of, instead of Dropbox, using a service like that. Anyway, tangents upon tangents. Just try bringing this whole bus down 3 dB. Yeah, I mean, the other part of it was, I mean, sure, downloads. The thing is, DJs will download stuff, but most people will stream it. And there were streams. It's just that the streaming revenue is so ridiculously low that I'm kind of on the fence about whether to put stuff on those sites. I sort of feel like I don't like how people complain about these streaming services and the revenue they take, but then they put their music there. It's like, if you're not earning enough from it, don't put it there. Sure, it's convenient for the fans, but like, they'll have to go where the music is at the end of the day. And if no one was supporting these things, they wouldn't exist. Or they would have to improve their practices. Oh, cool, man. Appreciate that. It's a pleasure. turning everything down. Just because it looked like we were clipping now and then. Feel like we need a big crash here. Let's turn everything here down a touch. Eyeballing it. Okay, I feel like we're getting there. I wouldn't mind layering the snare with something. I feel like we need some. Also, now that I've turned it down, feels a bit soft. So I might just undo that. It could have been clipping when I turned something way up. Temporarily. I'm sort of trying to boost something that doesn't exist, basically. So let's try. Try the old air lo-fi with the noise. Interesting. I am going to just add a layer here. So what I'm going to do is select, well, duplicate the track. I'm going to double click the track so it selects everything on this track. And then, oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Dynamic split. So what this will let me do is split the regions by transient. Or gate it, but I don't think we need to do that. And it's based on our transient sensitivity setting. So you can sort of vaguely see these yellow lines. In the old themes, it used to be a red line, which was a bit easier to see. So now I should just be able to go split. And now all the snares are sliced. And I reckon we can just move that onto the grid like that. Cool. So for the most part, all the snares are sliced. So then I'll just delete any gaps or misfires. There's a fill here, I think. I'm going to take the fill out. Cool. So I just want snares. I believe there's another fill here. Did I miss? Oh, here. Okay, so now all the snares are isolated. Except what's this? Oh, it's these reverb things. All right, we'll come back to that. But for now, this will do. So I'm selecting all of the sliced snares. Let's go into Media Explorer. I think I closed it with one of those shortcuts. Not that one. There we go. Cool. So now let's find a modern sounding snare. Sort of a what kind of a snare? Let's just see. Snare. I don't know what my volume's gonna be like. Not too bad. It's a kind of the sort of quality I'm looking for. Let's see if that works. So now I can go use media as source for selected items. Bam! Every single one of these slices is now the snare. What we can do as well, the new snare I should say. What I can also do is just shorten this one and then open up item properties, and I can copy this length value. So now when I select them all, I can paste this length value in there, and bam, they're now all the same length, or better or worse. Now it will need a bit of tidying, but for now, woohoo, it's getting processed. Well, it's mostly just getting treble boosted. Let's actually take away the transient. I'm going to do like that and fade them in, and then move it onto the grid. And now they are all just... Could do it even shorter. I'm going to actually do it this way. Perfect. We have literally, using audio, we have replicated the snare track. Check, it's even kept the velocity change there. That's cool. Take away this reverb send on the maybe just the shorter, a softer send. We could widen this a little bit with some chorus. Try pitching it down. It's 2 semitones down, that sounds better to me. Oh boy. So see, this is another reason I like mixing in Reaper. I end up being able to like replace a drum part that was audio. Super, super useful. So every now and then we might have to clean stuff up like that. So actually these should kind of follow the echo. So I'm going to select these. Turn them down. Sort of by the same amount each time. 1.8-ish, 1 point something. Do it a little more. Cool. So I'm just going to copy that across. Correct? No, I don't think it is. That's a bar. Copy. Let's also do that here. So yeah, there was a slice there. So it replaced that as well. So you do have to tidy it a little bit, but it's like so much quicker still than the alternative of having to reprogram the thing manually. How are you doing, Andremia? I suppose I saw you on stream yesterday. I was trying to check out that Leander dude who was critiquing your mixes. He was live, but he was only live for like 40 minutes. I'm curious to see his hardware. Just need to let a doggy out. Critiquing, like giving you mix feedback, having just entered your stream. The dude with, I think it was Leander or Leander. Leander. 2 L's, EANDERR. He was live briefly. I was curious to hear his hardware stuff, but I missed it. And I would have critiqued his mixes, given half a chance. I feel like the snare sounds like it fits. It still sounds 80s. Just has a little bit of high end that it didn't before. I wouldn't mind layering it with a clap or a hat or something. Claps or hats. This is my battery bus. I just did something silly. Trackers folder. Unpack the folder. There we go. Yeah, I get you. I mean, I don't mind it either, to be honest. I just find it a bit funny when people have barely introduced themselves and then they're critiquing. You know, like I would say something about CBEX stuff, but like we basically know each other at this point. So I don't know, it's a different dynamic. Ooh, drum and bass snare. Hmm. Yeah, I'm the same. I often have Twitch open while I'm actually working on music. Although I tend to, if it's like a music stream, I might just be doing admin. It's nice to just feel like I'm not alone. Especially when I'm doing boring admin. First two were a little sloppy. And it didn't start on the 0 like that. Yep. Who was I listening to the other day? It might have been someone on Mr. Bill's podcast saying, yeah, people must think he's a psychopath, but he has the TV on in the background. I'm just like, yeah, makes sense. Like sometimes I'll actually have something louder than my music. And if something sticks out to you while someone's speaking, that's also like a sign. Like, I don't know, maybe because we watch so much TV that we're used to hearing a bit of music under a voice. And if something is wrong with that music in the context of like a TV show, it's like, that needs fixing. I'd like to send this to a big reverb, or the same big reverb even. They lie in the sun. Are allowed the same 2 strokes that she got. Hello. No more. Jealous dogs, man. Okay, without this. Maybe just in the choruses. From here. Maybe pitch the clap down. Wait for battery. Oh, that was quick. Layer this as well with another clap, I think. Select them all. Octave down. Maybe that guy. I'll also just quantize the selected notes using the grid. 100%. Cool. Kind of just want an airy clap. Also wondering about an open hat. Maybe we look for like a 606. I might just sequence that as audio. Feel like the native instruments folder will have. Let's go 8th notes. Him down. Still freaking loud. Isn't really the sound. Maybe it's a 707. Yeah, that's the one. Use as source for selected item. Bam. Let's grab that. Vocal always bothers me. In mine, I was auto-tuning the ladies' vocals about as much as my own. Where is it now? So, from about there. So this part feels out of tune. It's like she goes to a shh. I don't know. Try one up. I feel like it's this. Maybe it's like midway between notes. Let's make it like a fifth. I mean, half a semitone higher. Yeah, I think I remember that actually. I think when I was tuning mine in Reason has like a proper tuning thing, kind of like Melodyne. Not as good sounding, but it's like built right into the sequencer, so it's pretty handy for stuff like this. Any thoughts from the peanut gallery? I do welcome your thoughts. I'm considering layering some pad. Like in the chorusy bits. Oh, you know what? I've had these muted the whole time. I think we need our Dodge Pro friend back in the house. And an EQ. What? Am I on a region? Thinking. Okay. Not the best moment to remember that you... Oh, it's not thinking. Okay. Let's hit save. Let's hit save. Okay, it's this guy I'm taking issue with. Let us use a Dodge Pro on it. Dodge. So what I'm thinking to do is, again with the scaling issues. Now, even when it was scaled down, it was dropped. Okay, what I'm thinking is gating. So check here. We've got presets for like ducking, all sorts of ducking presets. We've also got like gating presets. Bam. Before. It's just in the context, it felt a bit too wet and flat sounding. This is too much, but we have a mix knob, haha. Before, after. EQ this on its own. Don't need a new track for that. I can apply an EQ onto the item. I actually prefer to use a different EQ for boosting highs, something that I believe this has oversampling. So there's no cramping at the high end where it sort of has to cut off hard at 22 hertz or 20 hertz. Without this EQ. Before. softer. It's a little rough, but it sounds cool. Jumped from 6 viewers to 2. Interesting. Ah, there's a layer. Gonna split the difference. Now I've applied it to everything, but to a lesser degree. Like she needs an EQ. Okay, so this part. Those trebly bits are loud. I know. Instead of trying to compress it, I'm just going to do a pre-everything volume. Add a note there, add a note there, add a note there. That's better. Send this to a short reverb. Was basically looking for an area to make it more present without sounding shrill. that in. Snap was off, was it? Yeah, it was off. Okay. Let's go in. 6. I'm gonna go 8th notes. I'm gonna take away this. Didn't like it. And quantize. That did a lot. 8th notes. Commit. Velocities are full. Nice. I think I've got the accent button pressed. On my push. Sometimes it's not the thing that's peeking out that's bugging you. Sometimes that's what gives it character, but in this case it was what was bugging me. I think it's a specific frequency in this crash that's shrill, because I'd like to boost the highs, and it might be possible if we just nerf the thing that bugs me in the crash. Just need to be overall. This must compress harder. See if we can boost it. Could just automate the gain. That's frequency. Not what I wanted. That's gay. Thank you. It's weird that I had to actually move the parameter. For a JS plugin, I would have thought most Reaper plugins, you just touch the parameter. Just see if that's working. Yeah, just not to the degree that we need it to. Boom. No, I'm turning the overall gain down. I feel like this could already come in there. Not there. Why am I confused? From here, maybe. Okay, let's get a pad going. Or some soul wave thingy in serum, perhaps. Woohoo, high up. Let's figure out the key. If he's got the original key, it should be G. Cool. I'm going to grab the Dodge Pro from my base bus. Whoops, nothing to paste. I want to copy. Just say saws. Ah, it's a third. That fourth doesn't sound right. Let's record it in quickly. That's fine. Okay, I got that chord wrong one of the times. Or both of the times. I just was trying something that wasn't the normal fourth. That seemed okay. There's that note that doesn't seem to work. It's cool. Some electronic music often doesn't use that note. I think this was the best move. I'm just gonna elongate that guy. Cool. Fills out a certain frequency range in my head. Still not satisfied. Oh, the chord goes higher, so it might just be if we Ah, maybe. I'm happy with that. Also just going to quantize these notes most of the way. I'm wondering if instead of a snare, we should have a clap there. Boom, clap, clap, clap. Let's have a listen from the top again. I feel like we're making progress.
What is love?
I think the instruments are a tad loud. I feel like this is also taking up space here that we don't need it to take. Before. seeing as these notes don't overlap, we can maybe give it a little bit of release. Have any Synthwave to like reference on my computer. I'm sure I could do some Googling just now. It looks a little midsy, but I feel like this music doesn't have a ton of low end like the stuff I'm used to working on, you know. There was also a crash I felt like we needed. Yeah. So let's go to my old friend Battery. Sure. First note I click. That should be fine. There we go. Sidechain that sucker. It's like I've got an old school actual sidechain compressor. I don't think it works. I think grab dodge from our bass bus. I'm becoming a dodgy producer. Paste. Feel like we could sidechain this as well, because that hat on the beat is quite sort of sticks out. It sounds like it's part of the kick, which is nice, but feel like it doesn't need to be quite so loud. Gonna add a right click. It's a right click. Cool. Added a node. Seems to snap the grid somewhat, which is cool. Let's go like without, with. I feel like making another executive decision. Ooh, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to bypass it here. Let's automate this. Show in track envelope. That'll be here. Power. It's interesting. Let's turn down the power. It's too much power. Where else? Cool, man. This is making progress. What else shall we do? What was I going to do? Oh yes, I was copying this, a part of the hat. Because when this section changes, maybe also have this start a little earlier. Brings the energy up a little bit, then when it goes away, maybe the pad could start there. I just feel like it loses energy when it needn't. So there's two things I can do. One is I was going to copy the part of the hat loop. Just that much. Unsolo. I want to see what's happening here. So it's this section. Let's just take them out so it's clearer to me. I'm going to trim up to that point. I'm going to paste this little loop. Delete all the joyous automation points that we didn't need. There is a way to copy stuff without automation clips. It's this button here. Envelope points move with media items. I should have had that off. Ooh, I made a polyrhythm by accident. Cool, but not what I was intending. Bloop. There we go. A little bit more energy still. Let's get my crash in there as well. Also, it should be on its own MIDI lane. So we don't, in case we have to layer it up. Velocity. Could also gain this whole bit down. Except it's getting gated. So let's use trim volume. In fact, have we used pre-effects volume at all? There. I'm going to move this here because again, it affects the gating. So I'm just going to take it away from there. So this volume, trim volume, is basically like moving your fader, except it's a separate layer of automation. Whereas volume pre-effects actually affects your waveform. So it's handy to have both, but in this case, pre-effects is pre the gate, so it affects the gating that's going on. Whoops, a weird shortcut. That's the one. Hide that away. Hey man, this is Reaper. We can actually change the color of this lane because I've made the background so dark that I can't see the trim volume effectively. Open the theme tweak window. Let's search for trim. Let's make it either paler. Maybe give it a hue. Save this. Overwrite my theme. So now I can see this lane a little bit more clearly. Could maybe be even clearer, but for now this will do. Okay, I think we can have a little more low end. He's got reverb on his bass. Let's gate it. Interesting. Four. Kind of muddy. The nice thing is his dynamics are good. Like the high notes aren't louder than the lows, I don't think. I think that'll do. Realized I do want a different clap as well. I want a longer clap, more old school sounding one. The hand clap vibe is cool too. That kind of a clap. A bit more low end weight to it. I know they're all in a bus, but nice, I dig it. Hey man, I do have a sort of schedule, but it's more for like on Sunday. I actually do a DJ set, but it's on a different YouTube channel. It's also on Twitch though. And then so yeah, that's Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Central African time. And then on Monday evenings, we usually do a challenge roundup. So this was one of the challenges. We all were remixing What Is Love. This isn't mine, this is SideWize. I can play you guys mine actually, I wouldn't mind an ear break. Let's actually not use that, we can just open VLC. So yeah, Monday night also, well, 9 p.m. Central African time. Yeah, that's when we usually we sort of play all our challenge tracks, and if anyone's around on Discord, we'll actually share our screens and have a look at the projects that each person's done. So some of the challenges, like we did one with a sonic ring sample. Here's my What Is Love. Let me just pull this volume down. So yeah, that's sort of a production related stream, but my just general mixing or producing streams are kind of whenever at this point. Because I do also have some paid stuff some weeks that I need to do. I'd like to pick a day for that though. I'd also like to do a weekly feedback stream. They were initially Monday night, but for some reason I never had any people wanting feedback on a Monday night. So this was my version of What Is Love. Sang before. It was an adventure. I think the key was to find a range that was natural to me. Was actually produced in Reason. So yeah, listening back now, I think the hi-hats are a little bit sharp on the highs. But other than that, I think it's kind of done. I was also considering turning down the reverb on the female vocal when I chop it up here. There. Those like, I think they're a little bit muddy. Other than that, I think it's done. But yeah, thanks, man. I do sort of, my main profession was really DJing. I did a lot of like weddings and occasionally club gigs. I had a couple of club residences locally. Nothing big, but like decent. And obviously, with the old pandemic, I am grateful that I do have some mixing and mastering jobs. I've got an album to master soon, actually, in the next couple of weeks coming in. I've also been producing some backing tracks for various bands. I'm in a band called Pravda that I've mixed some stuff for. I'm in a band called Ward 10. And yeah, Ward 10 is pretty cool. Play your track or two from them. Ward 10 and the Outpatients. We'll just skim through briefly. Good question. Which good question up here? They're more on the sort of psytrance-y side. This was actually done in Ableton. Still needs some work, but yeah, there's guitar, there's various, like, kind of like a band of gypsies. Whoever's around can play or record in it. We were primarily playing live, and we've only recently started producing stuff. There's like there's two guys who play flute, there's two guys who play guitar, there's a bassist, but like we're not all on stage at once ever. Like it's usually one of the guitarists, whoever's available, and so on. And I sort of play bongos and keys for them. Where's a Pravda tune? Might have one in reference listening. Got a few in here. Do. This is one of the Pravda tracks, an older track though.
You've been singing dirty, swinging all your way around town. Baby, when you gonna come on down? Hear you holler all about dollars, stacking up chips of gold. Hear you saying nothing's in your way.
This was one of the more challenging ones to mix. This piano had been mono. And I basically band splitted it like 5 bands, so the low band was panned leftish, the low mid, a little less leftish, mids in the center, kind of replicating when you have mics on either end of a piano. I think this might have been a different piano though. There were like 3 different piano layers in the song. Violin, melodica. Oh, this is the Bossa Nova version. I think this isn't the final version. The drums changed after this. But the core of it is the same. Anyway, that was a nice refresher break. What you call it? Just closing all the VLCs. Did I miss any questions? Yeah, I love that song. And when at one point we were just playing 2 of us, and I had to play the on a tiny little keyboard instead of the clarinet. It was quite fun. There's a video of that somewhere actually. I was playing bongos and keys. We got onto a national TV station. We had to be there at like 5 in the morning and then be all energetic on TV at like 6 in the morning. Not very musician-like. So I think we could start looking at a master for this. Oh, I had another idea, which was this section. No. Had the idea to add this pad there as well. Yeah. Even faded in. I think the doggy is pawing me to rub his tummy some more, but it's not happening, I'm afraid. Like a ride. See if I have any. That one could work. Let's make sure it starts on the grid. Looks like it does. There's no weird lag in the first note that I play. That's cool. They seem to have fixed some MIDI timing issues. I did see it in the changelog recently. It's actually a good velocity. It's a fluke what that was. Let's go eighth notes, quarter notes. Yeah. Make this a bar long. 2. Stick it on its own MIDI track. These are all sending to batteries on this track, but in Reaper your folder tracks can send MIDI by default, send MIDI to whatever track is above it in the hierarchy. So I'm just using these. They all just have recontrol MIDI, which is just a thing I use for mod wheel and pitch bend. Instead of editing it inside the clip, I can make an automation lane for it on the track, and they're all just sending to battery. And then battery is sending out to all these individual outputs. So all my kicks go to a bus, snares, claps, and then I've got 2 spare buses if I decide I need to separate certain things. The thing is, there's not that much separation that has to happen because in battery you can EQ stuff. So it's only if I want to put different effects on outside of battery. One of the late claps sounds really loud in the mix, but in solo I'm not hearing it. That one, I guess. So I can turn it down over here. Could also EQ it in here. And so on. I'm just going to switch that off for now. Maybe we want the ride to carry on. I think it'll also need some more sustain, but I'll get to that in a sec. First, let's see if the release is all the way up. What if I turn this off? And it just plays full velocity, I guess. So that's already less dynamic, which is what I was looking for. It's funny, in the mix you still hear it kind of duh, duh, duh. So I could stick some reverb on it, if there isn't already. There is. Next step is brute force. that's why everything's weird. It is strictly paid. I was lucky enough to get complete 12. No, I was lucky enough to get complete 5 second-hand for like about the equivalent of maybe $99 second-hand a year ago, year and a half ago, and then upgrade it for I think $199 to complete 12. So I saved like $200 or $300 on getting contact, battery, Massive X, which I haven't used at all because it doesn't run very well on my old computer. But there's a plugin called Satala. Like, I don't know what DAW you use because Reaper doesn't have, it has a drum sampler, but you have to load multiple instances to use it the same way, and you have to map each like key zone to whichever key you want to press. It's a hassle. So Satala is another option for free. It's not as comprehensive. There won't be EQs and stuff, but I believe it has separate outputs, so you can do the same sort of routing to individual tracks. I mean, if you're in Ableton, obviously the drum rack is incredible. Dial back side chain on dodge on this track. Scaling thing is going to bother me, but anyway. That's another chorus. Yes, it is. So we could repeat all this. Le copy. Also the chords. yeah, battery's cool. If you're just buying one, if you're not buying complete, I don't know. I don't see the value in individual Native Instruments plugins. I'd rather buy the bundle, like, because I wanted Contact, and Contact for like $100 more you'd get complete. So if you want any one or two things from NI, it makes sense to just get the full, save up a bit longer and get the full bundle, because none of these things are that good on their own compared to competitors of a similar price. For example, you can get Geist. I think Battery New is normally $199. You can sometimes get it on special, but I think Geist is $169. If not, it might also be $199, and it can do like loop slicing. I think it might have a step sequencer in it, so it's a more fully featured thing. In the similar price, basically. And then obviously the same goes for, like, I don't know, Massive or Massive X. Then you could buy Serum. Contact, you could even buy Falcon. You wouldn't have all the third-party library options though, but Falcon is like, if you want to make your own sample, like banks and stuff, like put kicks and snares in, or do granular synthesis. It's got FM and granular and all sorts of stuff. So like there's individual plugins that do more than some of the Native Instruments things, but as a bundle, it can't be beat. Make the filter cutoff sweep a bit. bass end at the end of that. Leave this volume at 0. Open up this envelope thingamajig. Track envelopes. Now I'll just send the last like quarter note. Like that, yeah. Ooh, bass just randomly stopped. Interesting. Suppose we could do that. Fade out, interesting choice. Maybe we need like a high string. Something that sort of keeps the energy, the tension there. Okay, I'm gonna start looking at the master chain. Oh man, this Nightbot's a pain. Funny. What was the exclamation about there? Were you going to announce some good news? Let's just redock that. I'm going to dip the volume by 10 dB so that I don't blast our eardrums with a master chain. Okay. That's where our loudness meter comes in. It's already pretty loud. I think we are near the clipping point in the mix stage. So I always leave headroom, but I always end up gaining it up for my own mastering chain, so I don't really see the point sometimes. Crash. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's my gate. Okay, we can fix this. We can fix this. Let's maximize the bass. Oh, not being the subtract. Fine. I think it's the sub bass. I put a gate on here. I forgot about that. So we need to automate the gate. I'm just going to use this mix knob, show envelope. Basically, as soon as the beat drops in, the gate should be on. Clearing up that mud, bro. Nice. Same thing here. Doop 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 doop. Got an idea. Why don't we fade it? That way it doesn't suddenly go from clean to muddy. Kind of fades into mud. Same thing here. Other way around. Sweetness. Yeah. Feel like we're almost there. Something bothers me about the lead. Thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man. Let's hear it in the mix. Have a look at the old span. So I should play this through the speakers real quick. I can close my door. back. Cool. Yeah, I think I might bounce this soon. What is the time? It is 11:08. What? 1:08. That's more like it. How long have I been live for? 3.5 hours. Okay. I feel I could carry on working. I would like to do some stuff on my Sonic remix. Okay, one last headphone playthrough. I think I will call it here, just because I should do some other work after this, some coursework and stuff, and then maybe I'll stream tonight. I'd be keen to, do some more stuff on stream. I've been missing it, but I had a build-up of other stuff that had to get done in the last week. That was starting to make me anxious, so I'm glad I have done a fair amount of it. And yeah, hopefully more streams. Okay, I feel like, I don't know, this whole fade in, fade out, I suppose it is an 80s trope. I feel like there should be something else there to fill the void. Want to hear that sound again? That's just taking the treble down for that fill. Try that one. Do we need one here? Oh, we've got one here. Although I think it could be the same one. come up now, I think. Like we need to have some sort of change before that change up happens. Whoops. Whoopsie-daisy. Maybe have one more ride here. Some sort of a different fill. Smooth. The funny thing is, like, how much of the stuff I've done is kind of invisible. Like, if I were to send this to a client who didn't watch streams, like, they wouldn't know, like, that I took away all the reverb in the bass. It's just like, it sounds magically a little bit cleaner. Cheers. Whoa, cheers for the subscribe. Kill the DJ. Cheers for that. My subscriber perk at the moment is a free master. So if you have anything you'd like to have, like a master on, or a little stem mix, maybe not quite to this level of this track that I've done, but you know, drums, bass, or kick, drums, bass, instruments, vocals, that kind of a thing, then you can give me a shout. I need to get some emotes going. All my graphic design stuff is procrastinated, shall we say. But I need to get on that. But yeah, that is my little subscriber perk at the moment. Oh, that's a YouTube subscription, isn't it? Haha, it's not a Twitch subscription. Gotcha. So yeah, the Twitch subscriptions are paid, which is the difference. Whereas YouTube, Twitch calls what you just did a follow. Nonetheless, you join the Discord, then welcome to the community. Bloop. Sweet. And I'm about to head off as well. Zoom the waveform right in. So it's definitely done by that point. I like to just clean up the audio a little bit sometimes. It's easy to find everything down the line. Cool, I'm going to last listen and then bounce. Figuratively and literally. cool. Just want to check the level of this vocal in the middle here when I turned it down now. Then I also turned the bass, the dugga dugga bass down in the beginning. Sweet, I dig it. I am going to bounce it and I'm going to call it there. Doop de doop de doo in the project folder. SideWize, what is, well, I think it's do. Looks good. I'll just add that in there. I'm going to do wave. 16 seems to be the master standard these days. Still, even though it's 2020. Some distribution sites only take 16-bit wave still, which I think is a shame. 320 KB MP3 as well, and that's cool. We'll render them both. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you guys possibly tonight. Otherwise, same time tomorrow, like morning for me. But yeah, have a good day, everybody.